welcome to the World Cyber Games 2008 in the beautiful Cologne, Germany. My name is Nick Tasteless-Plot, and with me is my War 3 buddy, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to try to butcher your nickname. How do you say it again?
XlorD.
And I use a very significant person in the community. He's going to be helping me out here because I am a War 3 noob, and he is a War 3 Gosu. Thank you again for coming down here and helping me out with this match.
No problem.
All right, we have a very interesting matchup here today, Lucifer versus XlorD. XlorD actually, and I'm not even making this up, XlorD is my favorite non-Korean WarCraft 3 player. Moon is my favorite Korean player. Now, if I understand correctly, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, he's not normally a human player, is he?
No, XlorD is actually a net player, but he believes that that Orc has a racial advantage over his race on that. So he has, he also trained human versus Orc, and that's his choice of race versus Orc players like this match.
All right, and what do we need to know about Lucifer here?
Lucifer is he's from Spain, and actually he's very new to the scene. He recently qualified for BlizzCon, which was a very big surprise.
Yeah.
And he made the winner bracket finals and lost versus Lin in the grand finals. So he took second place and won $10,000. And really he represents something of the future of the next generation of top European WarCraft 3 players. He's just 17 years old and already, he has very big accomplishments on his name, and he might be one of the dark horse candidates to win the event.
Wow, okay, well this should be a pretty interesting matchup. I do remember seeing XlorD play at the Blizzard Worldwide Invitational in Paris. However, I was casting StarCraft there and not a WarCraft 3. But still, he seemed like a very strong player, although he did not quite perform. As well as some of the other gamers down there. I think we're going to be bringing the map up here pretty soon. Now, as many people know, WarCraft 3, a very map-dependent game. There's not a whole lot of maps out there in the competitive WarCraft 3 scene, so you better be damn good at the ones that people do play on. What do we need to know about Turtle Rock and an Orc versus human?
Well, very interesting is the starting position. You have two possibilities. Either they start next to each other, or they start way across of each other. If they start next to each other, it's the shortest amount of room you can have between two starting positions, and it really helps human because they can go on the offensive early on and maybe do a tower push from tier 2. So that's really great for them. But otherwise, it's otherwise you'd have pretty much normal human versus Orc relationship. So that's for us.
So in a few moments here, the game is going to begin. XlorD against Lucifer, and it should be a very entertaining match. We already learned that this is a map that is very, very interesting. They're either going to be very close together or reasonably far apart. So both these guys know that there's going to be two very different games that could come up here ahead, depending on the starting locations. They're going to have to be prepared for both. And you can see right now both of them concentrating, going over their game plan as we speak, or as I speak. And we'll see this game get started here in just a little bit. At the WCG, the game that has over 10 different games that we're playing down here competitively, over 74 different nations down here representing themselves, and it should be pretty good. And by the way, you can bet on all this and more at, let me see here, xlbet.com. So feel free, excuse me. Go ahead and do that. Now the game is on. Okay, and get this, we are in close proximity. What do we need to expect here?
Well, this is very interesting because I would generally say this would favor a human player who can press, who has if they play aggressively, they can really get an advantage in Orc with the tower push, with any kind of a rush. Yeah. But what you also see sometimes is that it's the other way around, that Orc plays an rushing kind of game, and because they're so close, they can keep the human in their base indefinitely and build up an advantage that way. So really we have to wait and see, because this will definitely be an aggressive game, to see which of these two players is going to take the momentum, is going to try to take the initiative and to be the aggressor in this game, and it can really, should be exciting. I think slightly advantage for human, but still it's...
yeah, so it could swing either way here, but regardless, we're going to see an aggressive game here. Now we're going to see the standard heroes, the Blade Master from the Orc, and maybe the Archmage from the human player?
Yeah, no, I think definitely an well, actually, Mountain King is also a possibility.
Okay.
Chinese players like to do that, but and I think for us here is also always an outside possibility, but knowing, Archmage, knowing Lucifon, probably Blade Master, so it's,
Okay, we're going to see a militia moving out here, several of them right now.
Look, this is because it's very unique to Turtle Rock. They can go at it. They can use the militia aggressive like this. You see, Lucifon is trying to build up a bureau, which adds to his food level, which he needs to build units.
Yeah, as well as defensive purposes.
He's now forced to cancel it, and this screws up his entire
build order, so to speak.
Yeah, build order, and he can't make units without food. So he can't make any additional units now until he puts up a burrow.
Well, this is going to give him some tremendous ground here to really be aggressive. So right now, Lucifron in a little bit of a bad position right now. Is it going to matter too much if he loses this militiaman or peasant now?
Yeah, no, it's well. I think it's a calculated risk. I mean, he knew he was going to lose these 2 units, but yeah, it does matter. They represent 150 gold, and also during the period in which they were militia, they were able to harvest wood, and it also, it also affects XlorD. So he did take some costs, but I think overall it was worth it. And you now see. You see XlorD trying to creep and Lucifon harassing it, which is pretty standard Orc versus human behavior, and it's. But still, the advantage is somewhat now for XlorD because of the early cancel of the bow. And you see, Lucifon is putting up a war mill, which indicates he might be expecting some kind of push, in which case he would need, he's now able to put up watchtowers, for which the lumber mill is a requirement. So you see, Lucifon is expecting XlorD to be the aggressor, and you see now that Lucifon is chasing the Archmage of XlorD, which is, he wants to prevent him from creeping. You don't want the Archmage to reach level 2 to Art Brilliance Aura, which increases his mana pool, also the mana pool of its units. And I think, Lucifon is now, teching. He knows he needs to get to tier 2 if he wants to turn the momentum around and be the aggressor. And, it's just, you still see them, walking around, trying to do some damage to each other, trying to force some kind of advantage. You now see Lucifon targeting a footman of XlorD. It would be good for him if he kills it. It's not any kind of game-breaking advantage. A footman costs 135 gold, so it's not.
It's not huge.
It's not huge, but it's something,
Yeah. Well, every unit counts in WarCraft 3, but
definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Well, okay, so at this point in time, should we expect to see more aggression coming from our human player? Will we see, will he try to expand here and tower up?
No, because what I think the situation is, XlorD thinking, is he's thinking, Lucifon is expecting me to be aggressive, so Lucifon is making investments like lumber mill, which relays his deck, which help him against aggression. So he's also thinking, I get enough advantage of the investments he's making right now that he would not otherwise make. So I can just stack and I can go tier 2, and at tier 2, I can just go aggressive anyway. So that's his thinking. He's putting up that lumber mill, he's making other decisions, and those help me, and that's the advantage I get from the potentially being aggressive without actually having to be aggressive. So that's probably the thinking XlorD has right now.
Now, what kind of items do both of these players want at this phase of the game?
Well, it's always good item drops for Lucifon, or item drops that increase his attack. So he wants claws that directly add damage to every hit he does.
Yeah,
he wants. I can't come up with the name right now.
No problem.
The kind of boots that give him +3 agility.
Oh, sure, yeah.
They would increase his attack speed and damage. And XlorD, he wants the same kind of items. It's we got increasing health on the Archmage is nice, but still you want, it's a ranged unit, so you can keep it pretty safe anyway. If it gets surrounded or anything, it's going to go down no matter what kind of defensive items you have. But so you want to keep it safe anyway, regardless if you find some kind of defensive items. But increasing attack damage, he's always going to be on the attack, so it's good to have. It's probably better for him to have damage increasing items.
Now, who's winning in the game right now? I mean, it seems like XlorD is doing pretty well. He's microing quite well. He seems to be harassing his opponent. Is it that effective at this moment?
Yeah, and I think at this point, you know, it's not that any of them has a decisive advantage, but XlorD is pretty much calling the shots. He's pretty much leading Lucifon on and deciding how the game is evolving, and that you know that's just always good, at least mentally, but also in the sense that he knows. He can push the game in the direction he wants it to push it, but really that's a small advantage he has. But really, it's just going. It's not really going decisively either way. It's just going slightly, I think, in the advantage of XlorD.
Okay, now what do you think about the second hero that's going to be coming out here, the Mountain King? Is this totally appropriate for this moment?
This is it's standard since Reign of Chaos, so 2002 for like the past 6 years. It's always Artemis Mountain King is the standard duo to play for human. So it's not uncommon. It's they work well together, so it's very usual.
So basically, those two heroes complement each other.
Yeah.
Now, am I correct in saying that it seems like XlorD is getting a massive creeping advantage here?
Yeah, XlorD is getting somewhat of a creeping advantage. I see now Lucifon is going to try and indeed creep back him, trying to catch him in the act of creeping us.
And snag that extra XP.
Yeah, you see, Lucifon managed to catch the Mountain King of XlorD off guard, but no, it's not really. I don't think this is good for Lucifon because he's probably going to be forced to run away, and XlorD now had time to creep some. But yeah, Lucifon is a grunt cuts around.
Yeah, runs around. He's going to be going down here. Yeah. Another loss here for Lucifon. Lucifon having to leave.
Yeah, no, this is bad for Lucifon. Not only did he give XlorD the time to creep, but also he lost the grunt and had to run away. So this is pretty bad. I actually think, you know, overall the close position. If yeah, you see Lucifon is now he's building a watchtower, for which he built a lumber mill in anticipation of a tower rush, which I think is probably coming. You know, XlorD is going to try to go for an aggressive, for an all-in kind of move to, you know, and he's pretty much building up towards it, and he should be pretty effective. Even if he's not going with the towers, I mean, going aggressive at this, he's going for the towers.
I'm sorry, are either of these guys going to expand anytime soon? I mean,
no,
it's just going to be
in a game
battles.
In a game in which they're this close together, it's not realistic to expand because the opponent can react right away. They can force a cancellation of the expansion. What you see right now is XlorD is going for a tower rush. He's going to put up offensive buildings. Yeah.
And here it is now. It's commencing. Pretty serious battle here as these towers begin to get set up. And you can tell Lucifon right now could be in a lot of trouble. The Shadow are getting very low, and the Blade Master getting slowed down here just a little bit. What do you think his chances are? Can he stop this right now?
I have to say I think XlorD is going to take this, take the win at this point very shortly. It's looking pretty bad for Lucifon. I mean, but on the other hand, he's not without chances because he's been anticipating this rush. You see, he's building a demolisher. He has a watchtower up. So you know, if he can prevent XlorD from pushing in too hard, he can take down the towers and with the demolisher. So it's not totally out of reach for him, but it's.
This is going to be tough. Doesn't look like the Blade Master is getting pretty low here. He's got to move that Blade Master out of the way. Barely pulling it out in time there. The Mountain King, though, oh my God, the Mountain King didn't even notice that ended up getting knocked out here. This is pretty big. 2 towers now down.
You know, it's you saw that the Blade Master almost went down. He went invisible, so XlorD can't see him. And he will probably, you see now it's revealed again and XlorD is targeting it.
The Blade Master could go down 3 hit points, it's gone! Damn!
Yeah, now this is looking really good for XlorD. You see the Archmages and the Priests, they keep recharging the mana and the health of the units of XlorD. So in periods, longer periods tend to favor the human player because he regenerates faster. So this is really, I mean, Lucifon is forced. I think this is pretty much a game. XlorD pretty much has this game unless something really weird happens. You know, he really is pressing the decisive advantage and really it's looking really bad for Lucifon.
Yeah, this Shadow Hunter getting pushed farther back. Another Demolisher is trying to get repaired here by these peons. And you can see the Demolisher really unable to effectively attack the towers. Meanwhile, Archmage micro back here. More towers up here, getting rapidly closer to the Greater Hall. This could be very bad news. A Shadow Hunter escape pretty low. Damn, barely saves the Shadow Hunter.
Yeah. He used the potion of health. He probably bought it in anticipation of the Shadow Hunter going down like that. It's it's an item which instantly restores a large number of hit points, which is pretty effective to use like this. But really, this is looking very bad for Lucifon. You see, he's struggling even to survive. In the meantime, his entire base is dying slowly. He needs some kind of game changer, but I don't see it happening.
Looks like it might be. You could lose the Archmage though here. 47, it's gone. Critical hit.
Yeah, no, that's a kind of game changer. Well, actually, it's not going to. It helps him considerably, but still, I think the advantage is in the hands of XlorD.
He's got a hero around here. He needs to get that hero out of there. I don't believe it's going to happen.
No, it's not.
Fantastic control here. So all of a sudden, things bouncing back, probably in XlorD's favor, at least a little bit here. Bam, it's gone, and the Mountain King levels up.
Yeah, no, this is still. This is still looking bad for Lucifon because killing the Archmage was good, but losing the Blade Master kind of cancels this out again. So this is, you see the barracks of Lucifon are about to go down.
That'll hurt a lot.
Yeah, it will mean he can no longer produce demolishes. So he has to make do with the 2 he has right now, but really he has no kind of offensive army except the demolishes, and the demolishes, they're good at keeping the XlorD occupied, of making sure he can't rush in. But other than that, slowly the XlorD is expanding his advantage, and being closer to being able to put this game away, which is which is really what's about to happen.
Well, it looks like we're going to have the Archmage coming back here in just a little bit. Meanwhile, some defense trying to get set up here as there are no more Demolishers here to help Lucifon out. Meanwhile, the altar is under some fire here. That's going to be tough. The Orc is really having to spend a lot of his economy here just trying to keep his remaining buildings alive, and he really doesn't have any room to make extra buildings elsewhere.
Yeah, what you see Lucifon doing is because the Demolishers, when they shoot, it takes some time to arrive, and they do a lot of damage, but XlorD can avoid it. So he ensnares the units, and so they can't move, and then he hits them with the Demolishers, and so that's how he manages to kill some of them. Wow. But still, he loses, you see his raider is in danger, so even for the units he kills, he loses some, so it doesn't really help him a lot, but still, it's a respectable thing to do. It requires a lot of skill.
Yeah, this is just a really impressive game here. The Blade Master's back in this though, and the Archmage should be here momentarily.
Yeah, the Archmage is momentarily heading towards the base, so they both have their main heroes back, and I think it's better for XlorD because the Brilliance Aura helps him a lot, and while Lucifon, the Blade Master, he managed to kill the Archmage last time. He was low on HP, but the Archmage is now full on HP again. And he can't really do anything critical with the Blade Master. So it's good that it's back, but it's not going to really affect the dynamics of the game.
Yeah, certainly. Well, the Voodoo Lounge is now gone, and the Great Hall here is really under fire, as well as the altar, which means it's going to be pretty unforgiving if our Orc player loses any more heroes. Yeah. The Archmage though netted here. Archmage getting very low.
No, the Mountain King is.
Excuse me, I was just testing you. Looks like the Mountain King's been taken out.
Yeah. Yeah, what you saw right now is XlorD, he's so far he's been careful not to go into the base too deep, but now he's like saying like screw it, you can attack my units, but I will just stay in the base and try to take down some buildings and to take the offensive, because he knows Lucifon might be able to kill some units. He just killed the Mountain King, but Lucifon is not going to kill enough to turn the game around. So that's basically the thinking of XlorD. You see now XlorD just has 2 barrels left, so he just has a total of 30 foot left, which really is he's getting closer to putting Lucifon away for good, being totally disabling his ability to produce more units. And you see, if the Great Hall falls, which is getting damaged bit by bit, it's really going to end this game for him. But he still, of course, he has to be careful that because he has lots of low HP units. If he loses all of them, and also if he loses the Archmage after that, it could maybe in theory turn around, but XlorD is a good player, so that will probably not happen. He won't make the kind of mistakes that would, you know, that happen like that. But still, Lucifron is, you know, he's hanging in there. He's kind of, you know, saying, you know, it's theoretically possible that if XlorD suddenly turns into a level 10 player, that I can still win this. So, no, he's hanging in there, which is, I think, commendable. He's going.
Definitely.
So yeah, but still, it's still looking bad for him. It's still a game that just XlorD to lose, and so that's. And you see, Lucifron is at 33 foot, and hopefully, yeah, XlorD is at 44 foot. You know, so it's a 10 foot difference, but also Lucifron has lost a lot of buildings. He's about to lose to the Mother, which is
pretty huge.
Yeah, pretty huge. So.
Then, you know, that other Demolisher is now stuffed back there. Meanwhile, the Blade Master getting pretty low on health here.
Yeah,
and the final bro, actually, I can't tell if it's going to be taken out, but that's going to be pretty critical. And it's about to be taken.
Yeah.
There it is. There it is.
There were like 10 peons repairing it, but still, it's... and the Blade Master is going down. Now it might be able to win block, yeah.
Barely gets out of there in time.
Yeah, now also, I mean, they're running like, I mean, they can't buy health potions or anything anymore because of the shop. I mean, you see Lucifron, he has like 900 gold, but he doesn't know how to spend. Yeah, it's
there
over.
It is. Good game. Well played by my man, XlorD, a good friend of mine. XlorD, I'm going to buy you a beer, Lynn, if you're watching this.
Yeah, it was a very nice game. You saw the close positions really determined the way the game went because they enabled XlorD to play a very aggressive game, and that was really to his advantage. To his credit, he played it very well, so it was a very nice game to watch and to shout out.
Well, we just saw XlorD put his go-to boots back on so he could march out of here, and I think he played it very well. I am really impressed. Don't go anywhere. We got some more action coming up here in just a little bit. Another exciting WarCraft 3 match, so that should be pretty cool. Again, you know, is there anything Lucifron could have done better that game?
Well, he lost his grunt at some point when he tried to be aggressive and he was forced to run back. Really, I mean, Lucifron could have done a lot of things that he could have done for small things better, like Creep Jack, XlorD or something. He allowed him to keep, but really just you know, XlorD just played a little bit better overall. He had to lock off a good starting position, so it was not like Lucifron was unable to win, but it was also. But he played really good anyway, but just, you know, things just they turned out badly for him. That's basically how